Well, good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Studios with your weather update here on your Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 2026. We're wrapping up our Tuesday with some filtered sunshine, high clouds, sunshine, not looking bad. Temperatures feeling quite comfortable outside. But the breaking weather news for this afternoon has got to be that the severe weather risk continues to trend upward here across North Georgia. And yes, there is a tornado risk with this as well. Not overly high, but areas across northwest Georgia we're going to have to keep a watchful eye on. Now, before we get into this full update, if you're new here to our YouTube channel and you live anywhere across North Georgia, let me quickly introduce myself as your personal weatherman. I'd love for you to hire me if you can. I'm in the process of building a professional 24-hour weather channel, and when you're doing something like this, it's about building your subscriber base. So please subscribe to the channel. Make sure, very importantly, you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future critical weather updates, and also to be alerted on when we ever do live severe weather coverage, which we will be planning to do for tomorrow. So please subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get into this update here this afternoon. And again, Brasstown Bald, we got some of these high clouds blowing through here, filtered sunshine, as I like to refer it to, coming through for this afternoon, as well as down toward Dahlonega as well. Again, not bad, pretty comfortable outside. Feels pretty nice. And Lake Lanier also looking pretty good here for this afternoon, all those high clouds kind of moving through the area. Now, things are going to quickly change, though, as we go into this time tomorrow afternoon. We're probably going to be tracking some severe weather. So let's go and get into this. This was just updated here as of the 2 o'clock hour here. You see the yellow area in here. This is your level 2 risk. This is your slight risk. So we're talking about areas from Calhoun over to Jasper, over to Carnesville, Elberton, Athens, Metro Atlanta, Noonan, LaGrange, all in that area. You see the level 3 over here in Mississippi and into portions of Alabama. Extreme North Georgia into level 2 from Dalton over to Clayton, and you see kind of surrounded there in the green. So let's go break it down. Let's look at the different categories here. We're going to look at the tornado risk here first. Again, we're going to be favoring the northwest zones here. The areas here in brown, I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here. So we're talking about Somerville, Calhoun, Rome, Cedartown, Rockmart, Bremen, Buchanan, near Carrollton, all under that 5% risk for tornadoes in that zone. The green there is in your basically your 2% risk, all right? The bigger threat's going to be, though, is going to be the wind threat. So I'm going to pull back out again. You see the big chunk of Georgia here, 15% of seeing some gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour. That's going to be the big thing you got to watch out for there. So what I would do today, folks, is go ahead and secure that outdoor lawn furniture and, trash cans, things like that. Just make sure it's secured so you ain't got to worry about this thing for tomorrow. The hail threat, not overly high, but northwestern zones, we'll have to watch for possible up to quarter-size hail with some of those storms coming up that way. So, again, the timing on this looks like between about 4 and midnight. That's the timing right now that I'm looking at, and that's what the Storm Prediction Center is looking at as well. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the forecast. As right now, the radar is clear. We might get a few stray showers that might try to sneak up here across extreme North Georgia tonight. It won't mount to much anything. The models indicate it should be kind of pittering on out. Here's the satellite imagery. Again, you've seen some of those high clouds across our area this afternoon, but the thicker clouds, they'll be moving in forward tomorrow. You're also going to notice that humidity creeping up as well. It's not going to be as cool tonight. It's going to be milder for tomorrow. So we're going to have some daytime heating, and we're going to fire out some showers and thunderstorms. So, again, here's that little cluster of rain here running across the Tennessee and Alabama line that might sneak into these northern counties with a stray shower or a light damping of the road. Not going to mount to much. Again, the real significant rains will be coming for tomorrow. And I got to tell you, folks, if everything lines up as we're seeing it here, it's not a drought buster, but it's going to make a nice dent in that drought conditions across North Georgia, especially if we get as much rain as being advertised by some of these forecast models. So what we're going to look at here is a radar representation. This is called the high resolution model. Kind of gives you an idea what the radar is supposed to look like. So this is at 3 o'clock. You kind of get an idea. Yeah, we got those rains showing up on the radar right now. So it's lining up pretty decent. Look what happens with this night. That comes to the 8th, it just kind of falls apart. So again, you might get a sprinkle there across extreme North Georgia, but not amounting to much. Now, going toward tomorrow morning, we're going to our first little indication of the rain starts to come in here across northwest Georgia. This should not be the severe stuff yet, okay? That'll come later. So we might get some rain, a few rumbles of thunder there in the morning. We got a little cluster here coming in here toward 9 o'clock with some heavier rains coming on through here. It's going to be going into the afternoon hours that we're expecting some storms to get flaring here. Those right here. There they come, right there around 4 o'clock. These are the storms we got to watch that potentially could be severe as they kind of move on across here. And it's also trending from west to east. So that means that the storms are falling over the same ground. So we're going to get some pretty good rain totals out of this. And this lingers through most of the night. I mean, most of the heavier action will shift to the south. You see the heavier storms down here, but we still got rain across North Georgia. And then this moves on out, and it looks like by Thursday afternoon, we're clearing on out. All right, so looking at our rainfall totals, very impressive. I mean, we're talking 2 to 3 inch range for a big, large portion of North Georgia, even 4 inches plus down here towards central Alabama and central Georgia. So again, not drought busting, but definitely, boy, it's going to make a difference. This is a good thing to see as far as the rainfall front is concerned. And temperatures tomorrow will be very mild. We're going to start early in the day in the 60s. We'll probably see our afternoon highs, sneak into the 70s for the afternoon, depending on where the rains are. I see that getting 80s, 90s down here across southeast Georgia. But again, kind of a warm day as we track that system come on through. Another thing I want you to pay attention to, I want to show you the forecast maps here. This is from the National Weather Service. I want you to pay attention to the cold front here. This thing is really not in a big hurry to get on out of here, that's for sure. So look at where it is here going into your Wednesday morning. Okay, there's the front right there. Pay attention to where this thing is going here as I go through the timetable here. So look there, going into Wednesday evening. There it is, the Thursday evening. So it is moving very, very slowly, move on through here. That's why it's not going to race through. That's why we're going to have prolonged chances of rain with this as it moves on in. And then Friday, we'll see things begin to improve. Saturday should be a great looking day. And then we got another chance of rain coming in for next week, Monday into Monday next week. Not sure if we're going to have any severe weather with this one. This one does not look quite as potent as the one coming at us here. So I'm not worried about it just yet. But that comes through on Monday, and then Tuesday, you got a nice little cool down again there on Tuesday. So we got a couple of cooler days in there and a couple of decent range days coming at us as well. So here's our forecast here for tomorrow as we're looking at 80-62 in Gainesville, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Areas there to the east and south are going to be warmer. The west is going to be cooler because of the cloud and the rainfall coming on in here. So your overnight lows tonight, 50s in the mountains, low 60s for everybody else. Again, the northwest zones could see some of that rain coming in initially. And then your daytime highs, obviously going to be much warmer down to the south and east, down there toward Athens and Monroe, depending on where the rain's kind of set up here for your highs. So 70s, looks like a lot of North Georgia will be kind of stuck with the rain most of the day, but the higher the rain chances will be further north, and then further south during the day will be a little bit lower. So kind of in that 60 to 80% range there across the area from Atlanta up toward Blue Ridge. All right, now regionally looking like this. Look at the cool down behind the front. Memphis is at 60 degrees, 84 in Mobile, 88 in Savannah, and 93 in Jacksonville. Woo, that is a hot summer day there. All right, next 7 days, here we go. All right, so we got that rain chance. Again, overnight is about 90%, by the way. Wednesday night, 90%. Thursday, again, that'll be predominantly during the morning hours. I think by the noon we start to clear on out. Friday, that rain chance, we'll see. It'll be pretty low, I think, for the most part. But 71-52, so below normal temperatures on Friday. Again, normal highs are supposed to be sneaking into the upper 70s, getting close to 80 this time of year. And then we can recover back on Saturday, and then we got the clouds coming back on Sunday with another threat of rain on Monday, and then we bring it right back down again on Tuesday as we got a couple of these cold fronts kind of yo-yoing us there. Now, with all this active weather, folks, all I got to tell you is go ahead and download the North Georgia Majestic weather app. It is free. Doesn't cost you anything. There is the Apple QR code as well as the Google Play code there. To go ahead and snapshot that. If you're watching on your phone right now, just go ahead and click it. There you go. You got it. And go in there and download these apps. Again, North Georgia Majestic Weather in both the Apple Store and Google Play. It will tell you everything you need to know as we track these storms through the area, alert you when rain's nearby, lightning nearby, obviously, warnings. It'll give you future casts on the radar and the forecast, hourly forecasts, all that kind of good stuff. And we're going to make it better, by the way, as we add additional capabilities when we get our new website up, and we'll have some of our forecast links added to that. All right, that is y'all's update. Again, I do plan on doing some severe weather coverage to be determined right now. We'll see how things develop for tomorrow morning. If I had to guess, I'd say sometime around 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon we'll get started, and we'll just track it into the evening hours and see how things develop for tomorrow night. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you want to be alerted on our live severe weather coverage that's specific to North Georgia, we focus on Georgia. We're not some national YouTube channel. We're a local channel. So please subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that notification bell to be alerted on all future weather updates and live coverage. All right, that'll do it for now. Y'all be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.